The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily express those of W Rock Radio and its sponsors. All shows are independently owned and broadcast for entertainment purposes only. Readers and listeners are advised that neither W Rock Radio nor its owners and agents shall be held liable for the content of programs. Website content and any audio produced and streamed by W Rock Radio is protected copyright and may not be recorded, rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without express written permission from W Rock Radio.
Sometimes we need to slow it down, take a look around and breathe. 'Cause these times go by so very fast, moments never last. Just breathe, breathe in, breathe out. Quiet, be still, don't shout. Love is what it's all about. Breathe. Sometimes when you feel you've had enough, living is just too tough. Just breathe. 'Cause you'll regret when these days are past. Your friend has seen your last. Just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Quiet, be still, don't shout. Love is what it's all about. Just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Love is what it's all about. Be quiet, be still, don't shout. Just breathe. Just love. Just love. Just love.
Good evening and welcome to the Just Love Show. I hope everyone has been having a wonderful past month, since this will be the first new show I've done in a little bit. Been traveling, recording some new television shows that I'm doing. Been in Vegas and then back to LA, and I'm really happy to be back here with a new show. Have a very special guest tonight. I've been trying to get on the show for a little bit, just trying to coordinate our schedules has been a little bit of a challenge. Gentleman's name is Peter Jam, and I'll tell you more about him in just a second. But first, like every show, sit back, take a deep breath, and think about all the things we have to be grateful for in our lives, all the abundance. We don't live in a world of scarcity. That is a manufactured illusion. We live in a world of abundance, love, and I want you to sit back, take a moment, breathe in, and just think about all the things that you have to be thankful for in your life, all the loved ones you have, all the things you have, not all the things you don't have. All the things that are needed, not wanted in your life. Be thankful for having everything in your life you need, and not just the things that society tells you want. So again, sit back, take a deep breath, and just think about all the things you have to be thankful for. Before I get going, like I do every show, I read a little something that comes to me from meditation that I think has something to do with the show. This actually came to me this morning, and I think it's really fitting for my guest today. It has been said, the truth shall set you free. And I share with you this day, love is the truth that shall. And then this is a quote from David Icke. Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. My guest tonight is a world-renowned peace activist and musician named Peter Jam, as I said. Peter is a Lebanese-Armenian. He is from Lebanon, so I'm hoping he can share a little bit with my audience tonight, a little bit about what's actually going on in the Middle East and some of his thoughts on how we can, fix some of the problems that we have that seem to be never ending over there. And a lot of people don't really understand how it all began. And I'm really hoping that Peter, will share with us a little bit about what it's actually like to live in a part of the world that seems in constant turmoil, and share his thoughts on how that came to be. So without any further interruption, and I'm so happy to finally have him on the show, Peter Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's very, very, very early here in California. I'm recording this morning. I ran into quite a few technical difficulties, but I think I finally got them ironed out.
Yeah.
So where are you at today?
Well, now I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in New York, and the sun is starting to shine. And I just went out to the balcony so that it's again morning here, and everybody's sleeping still. So I wanted to speak under the sun in the balcony and enjoy this beautiful day.
Beautiful. So it's nice and sunny in New York today?
Yeah, it is.
Great. What's the temperature supposed to be there today?
I'm not sure, especially in the Fahrenheit, but it's quite hot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 100 here in the Bay Area today, which is really, really hot for us. Too hot.
Oh, yeah. So, definitely. Yesterday I was reading some in California. It was over 100 in many parts of California.
Which isn't normal. Like downtown San Francisco yesterday was 85, which is not normal at all. But we're we're in the middle of this drought, which is at least in part man manifested just by our continual sort of wasting of our resources. But anyway, that's another show. So tell me how this journey started for you, Peter. Tell me how, when you decided this is my purpose, I need to go out and share peace in the world and inspire people to peace. How did that journey start for you?
Yeah, well, as in my biography, I mentioned that I was born in the worst civil war. There are also other stuff that, starting from my grandparents, that were, my grandfather was survivor of the first genocide of the last century. It was the Armenian genocide. It just we commemorated the 100th centennial of that. And after that, my dad also was a survivor also from the Israeli conflict in 1946, because he was born in 1948. He was born in 46. So, and then back to the 80s when I was born in the Lebanese Civil War. So you can see that there is 3 generations that they are in worst situations. They have been born, and so when I was teenager, I was just trying to think that what is war? Is it necessary that we should be in seeing this violence and wars? And then, as I was growing up and trying to figure out the answers, and we say that love is the answer. So after that, I figured out that I have to, once I start the concept of love within myself, there is a purpose in the sharing also. So whenever I figured out also myself and my talent and my skills, that I'm a musician and music composer. So I started to mix all these ideas that I have, and with what I am and what my talents are. And after becoming a professional musician, I started writing songs, and I came up with a motto, let's say, project title as Positive Message Through the Power of Music, Art, and Speech. So in the beginning, it was only positive message through the power of music and art. But then after I toured over 40 countries unexpectedly, without planning, with the power of love and courage and sharing, I got a certificate from UN organization as Ambassador for Peace, or another one as Ambassador for Human Rights. And those were again not asked for, but they granted me. So lots of people encouraged me to do also speech. So I started to use power of music, power of art, and also power of speech. Now also we use the power of media and social media just to plant the seeds of love.
And how did you go? I mean, it's really, I always love these stories where, you come from a part of the world where it would seem that there would be insurmountable obstacles into getting the sort of recognition you have. How did that happen for you? How did you even start to go out from Lebanon to be able to tour all of these other countries? I think that these sorts of stories are so inspirational for people who feel hopeless. How did you manage to rise up out of that?
Well, at first, I wrote this my peace song, and I was thinking of making a video out of this because we know everything is now audio visual. So, but doing a video, it's like costs lots of money and needs this and that, and people will not believe in me even if I have a genius idea for the video and for the song or for the project. So I stood up myself and I said like, okay, I have to do everything by myself, A to Z. So it was just like conceive, believe, achieve, or dream, believe, achieve. And I started to believe in this dream, in the beauty of this dream. And once I started to put faith and also act with will, because actions are louder than words. When there's a will, there's a way. So I started to put this will to do this. And first of all, about the money, I started to go on the lowest budget ever. And I said, like, whatever I have and wherever I am, I can do something. So I got the cheapest camera and the cheapest stand for it. And I said, like, I can go to Europe and do 2-3 countries, like a video, and ask friends if they can host me, and so that I won't have the costs of the hotels. Also, it's very expensive. So in this minimum budget, I have seen that I have some friends that are inviting me over, but even that wasn't enough, because as a Lebanese, as you were mentioning, it's a little bit hard to get visa even. So I was challenging a lot till I got the visa. And then I went to to Italy actually at first, and then Switzerland, to do these 2-3 countries to this video in the city centers, as we have the video Europe Peace Tour in my website and in YouTube. And then from that moment, it started to spread. And lots of people, friends of friends, or through social media, they started to know that I'm doing this kind of let's say, volunteer tour, dedicated for peace and dedicated for love. So lots of people started to invite me. Some people knew me, some people didn't even knew me, some people were friends of friends. It's like, you can come over and we can do the video in our city. And some even they booked a train ticket, so like, just come over and we can figure out from here what you can do. So I always say that whatever project I do, if anybody goes on my website peterjam.com, they see like lots of big projects I have done, and especially my albums and lots of full like HD videos and whatever, which is really costly. But I can tell them that all of those I have done with produced by Peter Jam with a little help of my will, my faith, and friends. If these 3 combines together, there will be a big production, because it's not everything is only with money. People concentrate on the material only, but at the same time, if you have just faith, it is with you and with yourself and with whatever you believe in, it's good, but it's not enough. You need actions, you need will, you have to stand up. So after you believe, you have faith, which is really perfect, then you have to stand up. That's the will and the action. But that's, again, clapping with one hand. Then whenever you start clapping with one hand, people will start looking at you and say that, oh, if I put my hand, it's going to be much louder, the clap, and other people will hear it. It's like you have just a little candlelight, and going inside the dark, and other people, they have even like lighters, so they come next to you, and they light up all everywhere. So once you start with yourself and stand up by yourself, I'm sure that there will be people that will join your project, your mission, and whatever you're believing in. And especially when we're talking about concerning serving others, helping others, and inspiring others. And as a matter of fact, right now, just in this moment, we can see how we are combining together, or how you have got me and my message through your show to all these people that will hear. And this is like lighting up the world. This little candlelight that I have, you have put under the spotlight, and now we are lighting up the world. And the same goes on many projects and many inspiring people or organizations I have cooperated, and I do cooperate, and I would like to spread more and more.
Yeah, well, and that's the what inspired me to do start the Just Love movement was that as I was talking to all of these wonderful people all over the world who were doing who had individual projects or individual movements they were starting, like your own, or involved with. I realized that we needed, because the mission with the Just Love Foundation, you can believe in love, you cannot believe in love, because believe it or not, there are people that really have a very strange reaction to love. It's like, it's been so marginalized and trivialized that when you talk about love, sometimes people don't take it as seriously as they should because they don't really understand what love is. But the real thing that I want everyone to agree on, and what I found a commonality with people who don't even believe in love, is that we can't continue to operate from this institutionalized foundation of fear. Because if we do, the results are both repetitive and predictable. We can see for thousands of years what coming from this place of fear has done for us. So I wanted to bring more and more people like yourself together to share our stories, to share our message, so that maybe my voice doesn't connect with someone, but Peter Jam's will. And that way we, instead of just saying, hey, we can't have this foundation of fear anymore, we're building a new foundation underneath it. We're giving people a new place to come to. And that was a large part of the motivation for what I'm doing. One thing that I hadn't really planned on talking about, but it's something I think we have a synchronicity on that I want to discuss a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the Armenian genocide, because I know the United States is on the wrong side of this and they don't really acknowledge it. And I know that a lot of people don't know much about it. And this is something that is close to my heart because my great-grandfather was Native American and Lakota. And the genocide that's been done to indigenous people is very similar to the Armenian genocide. It's not acknowledged in any significant way. It's still ongoing today. Some of the atrocities, I've worked to help save sacred sites here. They're digging up ancient burial sites and putting parks over them. I mean, the things that continue to go on to wipe out any memory of the indigenous people. It's so heinous. And like, for instance, on the island of what is now Haiti in the Dominican Republic, which used to be Espanol, when Columbus landed there were 8 million natives there. And those people are genetically extinct from this planet. This isn't something that is very well known. This isn't something that's talked about. And so when I learn about stories like the Armenian genocide that go completely unnoticed, and there are so many stories like this, that I really want people to understand that it wasn't just during the Holocaust that there's been genocides committed. And there's been so many atrocities that are ongoing today that we have to look at these things so that we stop doing them. So please, if you could, I'm sorry to go on there.
Yes. Well, I will start with something very simple, which is if you have in your house 2 kids and one kid does something really bad, you don't recognize that. You don't even tell him you did something wrong. I mean, if not, the other will do, I mean, sooner or later, other kids will start looking at him and will do the same, maybe on him also, you know. But once we recognize this thing in our home, and you say, this kid, I said, no, you can't do this. This is wrong, or give a little punishment or whatever, and then the other will know that this is something wrong, right? So I just started with a little simple example, but continuing to the big mass that happened in 1915. It was back in the Ottoman Empire that they considered the existence of the let's say minorities, and especially Christian minorities, as Ottoman Empire was Muslim, and Armenians were the first Christian nation, and they were the majority of the minority inside the Ottoman Empire. So they thought that they should illuminate this and just like finish this in a way that they can do in terms of a genocide. So back then, my grandpa was 1 year old, and an inspiring story that happened, that was actually when they started all these murders and killings. A Turkish or Kurdish lady kidnaps my grandpa, which is 1 year old, and tells to the soldiers that this is a Muslim and Turk little boy, little baby, so that he won't be killed. So here we can see that there is humanity, and we're going to talk about humanity. We're not going to talk about countries and who did what. I talk about as people all together, and here we can see that as Turk soldiers were killing, Turk lady or Kurd lady saves my grandpa. So here we can see the difference between authorities and between people. Usually people get lost into blaming all these nations and all the people. But in my personal opinion is that I always put difference between the people of the country and the authorities of the country, the government of the country. Well, the people can get any kind of responsibility to force the government or try to get the message to the government. But again, here needs some awareness. But in reality, the source and the goal is the government. That's why in this the Armenian genocide, the centennial of this year, to April 24th, I was in Istanbul. I was in Turkey, and everybody was telling me like, "You're crazy. How can you go there?" And I was telling that I'm going for the people, and to be next to the people, to tell them that we have shared over 600 years some culture together, and first of all, we have to take out the plants of hatred before we plant the seeds of love, right? Are you with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree with you more.
I was just making sure that the connection is good.
Oh,
right.
no.
So,
I was listening intently to your story. I put you on mute, so there was no background noise.
Oh, okay, sure. All right. So back then, when I went to Istanbul on the Armenian centennial on the April 24th, for sure there was a protest which is bigger than last year, and it was just like this few years that it is being allowed to do such a protest. And the core of the protest wasn't the Armenian genocide. It was about all genocide, and it's about any genocide, because recognizing the mistakes of the past let us have a better future. But the reverse is something really dangerous, like not recognizing what happened. What happens is that we can expect any kind of disaster again. So not to be in this fear, we should recognize and we should take it as human rights, because we can't give human rights for certain people and not other people. We're gonna consider we are all humans, and we are all under the same laws or under the same power or whatever we're gonna call, or it's gonna be some kind of injustice. And the worst feeling for any people or any person is to feel injustice towards him, and to see that others have justice that they don't have. We always say that in the world there is no justice, there is no love, there is no. But we don't ask about ourselves that we really want. So if we want, we will get. As in my song, I say, if you want peace, if you want love, if we really want, we will get. But let's start believing with ourselves that we will get it, and let's try to get together. And the power of the people will force the government and the authorities will so that they can realize that this kind of such things are giving them some kind of green card to do more wars and more genocide. So to cut this, I believe that only we as people, when we realize and we awaken, we start to empower each other, to start to awaken each other. And I'm sure that the power of love will conquer all in the end. But first, we have to realize that if we want, because nothing happens by force. It just like comes with our realization and our understanding. So, in Istanbul, when on April 25th, just next day of the centennial, I had a speech, and it was first time I'm doing in Turkish, and just to tell the people that we have lived this lot of cultures together. And right now, I don't hate you. I don't want to blame you of anything. But as we were together like brothers, let's be again like brothers and ask for our rights. Because our rights are one. It's not that I have Armenian rights, you have Turkish rights, the other has American rights, the other has... Our rights are one. If we're talking about human rights, the title is one. And we say one love. There is only one love, one peace. We can't just divide and say that this is not included in it. These people or this generation or this whatever. So, as you said about the different genocides that happened even before or after, I always believe that once people start to learn about it, because some people, they don't even know. I go to some places, I've been over 40 countries. I've been to some places that when I tell them Armenian, they say, what is Armenian? And I try to tell them that it's like one of the oldest people in this Caucasian area, like just north of Middle East. And it's like we have the Stonehenge, which is like 12,000 years old. And, like all of these, and there is even Republic of Armenia now. And there is the Armenian genocide or the first Christian nation. All of this information, people, they don't know. And they, when it comes to the information that you give, also it's very important about these indigenous people, that how they got murdered and how they got killed in their own lands. And right now we can see like there is very few survivors that they can actually talk about it. So I go a little bit deeper in this subjects and try to find like who was really doing it, and because I believe that responsibility that doesn't rely on just one side, and especially not recognizing it. It's like doing it over and over again every year, and it has been over 100 years now. So this means, but in a way, if we look at a little back from this past 10-15 years, in the U.S. there was even a resolution in 2003 to recognize the Armenian genocide. Regarding that, also over 40 countries, or over 40 states that have recognized, and over maybe 60% or 70% of the world. And every year there are like more countries recognizing the Armenian genocide, and especially this year the Pope has recognized, and not only recognized, he just announced to all the world that this genocide should be recognized as soon as possible, and the European Union and all of these. But and parallel with this, we can see that there is big countries and again, the goal, the target here, their government and their system has their politics, which doesn't usually go with the real human rights. I always say that if we want politics and if we want real human rights, they don't go together, because politics are mostly based on greed, but human rights is mostly based on justice, and justice brings peace, and peace is connected with love and hope. So it's all together. And the other side of the road is it's about politics, and sometimes you see that these authorities and countries, big industries, let's say, have their big business, and recognizing these genocides will not be on their benefit, and especially it is connected to the wars that happen right now, and still the same greed and still the same benefits they are getting from all of this. And again, talking about the problems, also we have to talk clearly about the solution, which is our awareness and our power as people together to stand up and put priority as human rights before we talk about wherever we come from or what religion we are, what belief we have, whatever, however we are. We just say that, first of all, I'm a human, you are a human. I believe that you have the right to be free, to be recognized, to have your rights and everything. And the same goes on each one of us to tell to the other to recognize it, and not to look at the others as second-degree human beings. So that's the basis of basic human rights, if we're going to talk.
Two things you touched on that are really important. One is the reason that countries like the United States don't acknowledge the Armenian genocide is exactly for why the reason you pointed out, which is because it doesn't serve in their larger goal war. They need the Turks to be able to be involved with what the war that's going on in the Middle East. It's the same reason that America won't chastise Israel for what they're doing to Palestine. It's because they need this ally to keep the war going, which has nothing to do with freedom, democracy, peace, anything, or spreading goodness in the world. It has all to do with greed. So that's a really important point I want people to understand, that there's political motivations, as Peter said, solely motivated by greed that are behind these decisions. It's if I acknowledge the Armenian genocide, will the Turkish army then give me their airfields? Will they then launch attacks against our enemies in the form of ISIS or whoever out of Turkish lands? But the truth is that even though we've done this, and now that Turkey is allowing us to use their airfields and they're actually involved in the war against ISIS, they're not actually attacking ISIS. They're attacking the Kurds. And this is something else that people don't know. It's very complex what's going on there. But one other point, and I want to come back to that so we can talk about the real roots of war. The other thing that I think that you touched on, while I do separate people from the government, I also have become less tolerant of people's lack of understanding that they are the government. They are the corporations. These people do not have power unless we give it to them. We have to stand up and say, I am not going to give you my soul anymore. These people don't know what's best for us. And people have to take back their power. And like I tell a lot of people, it's like there's a very, very small group of people that are bringing this damage to all of us, that are telling us lies of hate, lies of fear. And when I say a very small percentage, let's say less than 1 million, and I mean far less than 1 million. So that means there's over 7 billion of us to stand up and say, no, we will not be this way any longer. We will live in a world of peace. We will live in a world of understanding. We'll live in a world of compassion. We will live in a world of love. And when we look around the world, the problems seem so insurmountable, the environmental problems, the economic problems. Well, that's the bad news. And the bad news is also that we have, a world that is, by any standards, incredibly overpopulated. But I look at this as a positive. Because we have 7 billion people, that means we have 14 billion hands or so, 14 or 7 billion brains, all to work on coming up with solutions. All of a sudden, these insurmountable problems that when you're looking at it from a place of fear rather than love, they become conquerable. They become solvable. There is a way to a sustainable tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to point out first about when you talked about Israel, to talk about something really, really important about Israel and about the state of Israel. I always divide of Israel how it is as Israel and Jews as they are.
Absolutely.
Jews. There is a big lack of marketing about this. Everybody thinks that Jews are Israel, Israel are Jews, and there is no other thing out there, other equation out there. But I can tell them that Jews existed where before Israel was there, and before even the history of or whatever it's written in the books. And Jews used to live with Arabs and with Persians, with all this, and within open land. Before, we're talking about thousands of years. And till now, we're talking about as, other than being people, being like as collective human beings, we can see that even on religion. In my song, I say, Salaam alaikum, peace upon you, my friend. Peace upon you used to say Jesus, and Jesus was Jew. So here there is a connection between Christianity and Jews. And Salam alaikum Muslims say, which is exact translation of peace upon you. Peace is salam, and in Hebrew is shalom. Shalom, salam is the same. So, and then I go and read and study about different religions, from Buddhist to Hinduist to Sikhist, lots of other religions. And we can see that they all talk about the peace upon you. They all talk about peace.
Yep.
And once they talk about peace, peace doesn't come without love or without hope. There isn't any hopeless peace or loveless peace. It comes all together. Peace, love, and hope are all together, the same word or the same meaning of the word. So here we are talking about how people have this very strong common thing that is like a connected. It connects like a bond between all of these people, and little differences give like a contrast. It's something good, but the bond, the root, is one. First of all, as we talked about, Jews and all other religions and other people are one. But as of calculations of the state of Israel, as we were talking about America and Turkey and America's military bases over there and the wars and whatever, that's totally different thing. That is totally, we're talking politics, and I don't want to talk about politics.
No.
It's obvious. It's obvious what's happening. But I want to divide that thing, as I was always talking about the thing, the noble thing that we are talking about, the spiritual thing, and at the same time, actual practical thing as of human rights. So when we are talking about justice is connected with peace, and peace, we said, it includes love and hope altogether. So once we're going to talk about justice, we're going to talk about human rights, and to get human rights and to get any kind of rights, we have to fight for it in non-violent, creative ways, and I believe that eventually we will get, and every year we will see. I personally, I follow up and see how much there is transformation happening in the world towards always for the good. There is some bad things still happening, yes, for sure, because these greedy people are still having these things that are going on. But if you look at the percentage, every year there is a good transformation, and I'm trying to keep my fingers crossed, but not only crossing fingers, but also acting and trying to inspire more people, to get together more people so that we can have more power to change through social media, through music, through art, through whatever, however anybody can. So you were also talking about, you were mentioning something else as second point. Can you remind me, please?
Oh, yes. I was just talking about the power that we do truly have as a collective. If we stand up, we can change everything literally immediately. Yeah. If we want the power, what people really, on some level, they have to instinctually know it, but it's hard for them to live it out, if you will. And that's, if you want everything, most of the things that we see that are going wrong in the world are a matter of choice, choices that we're making. It's not the earth that's attacking us. Wars just aren't happening. These things just aren't going on by themselves. They're happening because we're making the choices that are making them happen, that are manifesting them. If we want different, all we have to do is choose differently. And that's what I was speaking to, is the power of our choice as a collective to change all this immediately.
Definitely. Well, on Wednesday, just past Wednesday, as I'm in New York, I was invited in the United Nations headquarters for International Day of Youth. And for me, this thing is very important thing. As the International Day of Peace, which is next month, 21st of September, 12th of August, we celebrated this day. And I was very happy to be invited from the U.S. Federation for Business Peace, this organization which is like trying to create a change. So they invited me and to speak over there, and also to play my Europe Peace Tour video, this 18 countries video, just to show this. There was like more than half of the people. They were youth. They were like from different countries. The new generation, they were like present there. And I was trying to show them that as I come from a third world country and we're from a modest family and born in the war, and I didn't have all these opportunities and possibilities and money and everything. I did this kind of video. And how come you, as you come from like better situations and better circumstances in your countries, what you can do, and to inspire others, and to put a little smile on others' faces. So, and how we were talking about collective thing, how we together we can do. So in my speech, as I was talking about all my background and everything, I was for the youth, I had some special message. And for us all, how to act and react for the youth and with the youth in this kind of new setup, let's say, mind setup. So I was talking about, first of all, I believe there is our children need good food or healthy food to have a good nutrition, and that's the nutrition of the body. But what is the nutrition of the mind then? Nutrition of the mind is education, and preferably free education. And once they have free education, and it's the right of every kid and every teenager to study it, to learn, and then to have some knowledge to become the upcoming generation, which is full of creative leaders that can guide people and awaken people to this collective awareness that we can save our society and our world with ourselves. And now I will talk about the nutrition, as we talked about nutrition of body and nutrition of mind. There is something very important, which is the nutrition of the soul, which comes from the power of creativity, which is art, which is the artist in each of us. Every one of us are artists, and through art is connected directly with creativity. And creativity is directly inside our higher self. In our higher self, we have this creativity, which is directly again connected with the Creator, and we have a little piece of the Creator inside us that we can create. But here, I'm not talking about the cliche art or creativity. I'm talking about as we can create a beautiful, let's say, painting or an inspiring song. Or whatever in the art and music and whatever, but also we can create healthy relationship or happy family or happy friendship or simply peace, love, hope. We can all these things we can create. And here I come and talk and realize that I'm just a candlelight. But this candlelight, when it will give from its light to the other, its own light will not go dim. So if I lighten up any other person, I will not be hurt. My light will not be going down. So in other case, that whenever I'm lighting up, we can see that from the other person to the other person, we can light up the world. But sometimes we have little candlelight in different places, but we don't have this collectivity. Again, here we need some kind of creativity so that we can create a form that can connect these all lights together so that we can light up more. So because I believe that in awakening the creativity in our youth, it can directly, we will empower them, we will enhance them, we will encourage them to create a better future and better planet and better world, and the world that we are dreaming of. We are dreaming and we are living that we have to create something. So every beautiful thing that comes and changes something, transforms it to better something, it is based on creativity. It is in our it comes from our soul. So many times I say that if I don't have if I'm not inspired, if I don't have feelings, I can't write a song. And it comes the same way. I have to be inspired and motivated to come up with creative ways so that I can create peace, I can create love. But then once we do that on a daily basis, it will become a habit, and we will become these creative beings that in a daily basis we are creating peace and we are creating love. We are creating better ways in our relationships. Many times and also in my book, I talk about actions and reactions, about mindful and non-mind. Once, if somebody comes and hits me, I can directly hit him back. That is reaction. That is non-mind. There is no creativity in it. But if somebody hits me and I can just look at him and tell him, like, why did you hit me? What did I do? This is the going directly out of the conflict zone. Because in the conflict, the resolution that I go and do workshops and teach people, the first thing is conflict has two sides. Are you one of it? If you are a creative being and you are aware of that you are inside the conflict zone, the very first thing, the wise thing, and the thing which is out of love and not out of fear, you can drop yourself out and say that I'm not playing this game, because this is not a game. This will hurt you and it will hurt me back. And sometime when I was talking about violence, applying violence against violence, I said that it will applying violence against violence, it will leave you extremely vulnerable. So if somebody hits me, I hit him back. I will wait. I will expect a stronger hit back. Maybe I can get killed even. So why to be in the circle of fear when we are these creative beings that we can act upon love, and we can drop ourselves out and say that I'm not in this. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in hatred. I don't believe in anger. I believe that I'm awakened enough that I can act on mind and give this couple of seconds before I act or react, let's say, to act wisely and mindfully, which comes from the power of love.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think for me, this begins with overcoming our fear of the unknown and embracing our true infinite potential as spiritual beings, because from almost any perspective now, whether it's religious, spiritual, scientific, we are not these bodies. We are spiritual beings. We are soul. We have more potential than we can even possibly imagine to use, as you said, create, manifest any solution or any reality we want. We are again choosing to manifest, to create the reality that we have. We can choose differently anytime we want, but I think a large part of that, at least for me and on my journey has been about embracing the truth of infinity, embracing the fact that we could live for 1 trillion experiences and we would still be no closer to the end of this amazing journey we're on than we are today. So why are we in this brief moment we're having this experience of an illusion of body? Why are we choosing to limit ourselves? Why are we choosing to live so small when we're truly so large? Why aren't we embracing our infinite potential to be anything we want to be? And then I guess the follow-up thought is that, okay, if this is in fact what we're choosing to be, then I guess I can't judge that. But really, is this the way you want to, even to people who are devout atheists? And it also, to people who are atheists, if you're a devout atheist, it takes just as much faith not to believe in something as it does to believe in something. So don't think you don't believe anything just because you say you don't believe in a God. You do believe in something. You believe in your atheism. And that takes just as much faith to say you don't know as you do know. And anyway, the point is that even to atheists, even to people who have no faith in anything at all, I want them to ask themselves, why are you choosing to have this experience in this one life that you've got? If you die and you turn to dust and this is it for you, then why would you want to continue to be a part of the forces that are manifesting this reality? Choose differently. No matter what your belief is, no matter what your faith is, no matter where you're coming from, understand that we're all the same. We all have this infinite potential to manifest anything we want.
Well, in another speech that I was doing in UNESCO Palace and also in many interviews, I was talking about the peace song that I wrote, which was If You Want. The name of the song is If You Want, that I did this video in over 40 countries.
I love it. I was watching it just before the interview for about the 10th time.
So many people trying to ask me about the meaning of the song and how what I mean when I say if you want peace, you will get peace. If you want love, you will get love. If you want hope, and then I say you have to keep the faith. And now I take extremely different possibility that what if somebody doesn't have faith? So I'm saying if you want to get the peace and love and hope, and you have to keep the faith. But what if somebody doesn't have faith at all? He is a human being, and he deserves all this peace and love and hope. So here I say that in my way, I wanted to be a man of actions, not just words, and not to be like any religious leader or whatever, just say have faith, have faith, have faith. But I'm going to make the faith practical here. How we can make the faith practical to people so that we can feel them that they don't have faith. Okay, so I put myself in his shoes and try to think that, okay, maybe in his eyes it's like that, and how I can make for him the faith so practical so that he starts to have faith in faith. So I say keep the faith, but act with will, because actions are louder than words. When there's a will, there's a way. So if we have faith, and it just, as I said, it's just within me and whatever I believe in the universe or God or Allah or whatever I call, it's just between me and between this. But if we're talking about acting with will, it's just going beyond this, and it's standing up and doing this thing. I always say that praying is something good if somebody prays. But there is lots of quote. It says we have to pray with our hands and with our feet. So we have to stand up and help others, do things, not just go to the church and pray at home and that's it. And maybe that's bringing some change within us, which is really good. It starts somewhere, but it shouldn't stop there. We should share this with others. In my book, I say purpose of life is to be happy. But happiness will turn joy if we share, because sharing is caring, and caring is compassion, and compassion is true source of love. So once we have this happiness and we are creating in us this happiness, we are creating at the same time the peace and love and hope within us, because the happiness, the real happiness, will not come without this. But if we have all for ourselves, it will not be so much fulfilling other than we start sharing. because we are showing this care and this compassion, and it will return back to us. And sometimes I take even other possibilities. What if it doesn't come? So here we are not in a business deal. Business deal is with conditions. Here we are talking about unconditional love. So that when we have this, we are sharing unconditionally, even if it doesn't come back. That moment that I'm giving, I'm feeling joy. In other words, in my book, I say if taking is happiness, there is joy in giving. And also, I have lots of stories about this. But at the same time, when we are giving without expecting anything, unconditionally, we are doing the right thing. We are experiencing the right thing. But living in this materialistic world, which is everything by business and by conditions, I do this, you do this, I pay you, you pay me, all of this, it's all, our mindset is being based on anything happening with conditions. So we can't really experience the unconditional love, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But once we allow ourselves to think and to act and to base our actions and thinking way and everything on the unconditional love, we will see that there is joy in giving. There is joy in unconditional love, and then we will see that how we can experience this most precious thing in the world that maybe in the decent world it's being more difficult to experience.
I couldn't agree with you more, Peter. And believe it or not, we have gone through almost an entire hour, and I want to make sure that you have time to tell people where they can find you, and listen to your music, hear more about your message, follow along with you as you travel around and share your message of peace and love and hope. So if you could tell us where we can find you, and I wish we had another hour because there's so much more I'd like to go into.
Yeah.
But please tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, well, I mean, online is my website, peterjam.com, with peterjam.com. And other than that, I have the Instagram and the Facebook and the Twitter. They are at MRPETERJAM, which is Mr. Peter Jam, all stuck together. If they want to follow my Instagram or Twitter or like my page in Facebook. And my videos also, if they go to Twitter, to YouTube and just put Peter Jam, they will see a lot of videos. But all the links are on my website. Again, I say it's peterjam.com. And also I have a donate button over there. Whoever believes in what I'm doing and likes to share anything, I would be glad. And at the same time, my songs are also on SoundCloud. They can listen to it, and also on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify. They can, if they want to buy. So, and also I'm trying to update always my website and my posters, and mostly I put like even daily picture or thoughts on the social media, talking about Twitter or Facebook. So anybody wants to communicate with me, my email address is there also, info@peterjam.com. And anybody wants to share with me anything and want to be the one side of the clapping hand, I will be also the hand which is always ready to clap and which always claps by itself. So I look forward. Any individual or organization or anybody.
Well, I thank you so much for joining us on the Just Love Show, Peter. And again, I wish we had more time. I'm looking forward to seeing you when you come out to California, and hopefully we can get together and share some love. And thank you so much for joining me, Kip Baldwin, your host of the Just Love Show on WLOR.net. That's WRock. And join me next week so we can talk more about how to choose to be loving, compassionate people living in a world of abundance. Take care.